Welcome into the Press Box Fantasy Football Show. Glenn Clark, Kyle Ottenheimer, and the star of the show, the lovely and talented Mr. Ken Zalis. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
It's good to see you.
It's good to be here. You know, who thought at the beginning of this season that the New England Patriots will be the team to cut both Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon in the same year?
It certainly wasn't something that we were thinking about in July, as obviously we weren't expecting either of those guys to be a part. But I guess it worked out. We didn't think they were going to be part of the Patriots, and here we are. They're not a part of the Patriots. I guess we'll start there then. I had a few things that I wanted to get to you. By the way, if you've got questions for KZ, make sure you get them in right now at Glenn Clark Radio. We will set your lineups here on the Press Box Fantasy Football Show. In one league, apparently the good news is, as soon as I saw the Josh Gordon news, I went and I said, well, I'm going to release Josh Gordon because he's going on IR. Well, as it turns out, he's not really done for the year. He's just done with the Patriots and might be available. There's still a lot of unknown there as to exactly what's going on and why the Patriots would be getting rid of him. And unfortunately, when we're talking about Josh Gordon, there are other conversations that linger when it comes to this type of stuff. What are you telling Josh Gordon owners at this point?
I'm going to hold him for this week. It's a curious timing of the drop because N'Keal Harry, who they have to make a move for, isn't going to be ready till next week, supposedly. You have two wide receivers in Dorsett and Edelman who've been playing but battling injuries. I don't think Dorsett practiced yesterday. And then you have the young guys, Jacoby Myers, who I really liked coming out of college, and I think he's going to stick. And then the other guy that I can't pronounce his name, Oleski, whatever.
Yeah, sure, right.
Whatever his name is. So it's to your point. Seems like, is there more to the story? Why, if he's just about healthy, why are you releasing him? I know they brought in Sanu, but Sanu's more of it's a weird one. But I'd like to see where he goes. Somebody will, as they do with Josh Gordon, give him a chance again, unless it's the downside of all of this when you talk about Josh Gordon and that's the reason, and he goes away from football for a while. So I would hold him through this week unless you absolutely need the spot. But, you're going to have to kind of wait and see until the other shoe drops and he's released, because until he's released, the Patriots aren't going to say anything. And then you'll know, because if he's healthy, the way wide receivers are in this league, he's got to be on a roster.
So who are you playing in the New England offense this week?
Brady, White, Edelman.
That's it.
It's the only one. I mean, look, everybody's gonna throw Michelle in there. I don't think he's a must start. He rushed 19 times for 42 yards. I mean, he was awful. He just fell in. I mean, they got called back. James White should have scored, and they had a penalty, and so it brought that back, and then they got back to the one, and they gave it to him again. I don't have confidence in him. He's not running well this year for whatever reason. So, it's not a terrible bye week. I know there's some injury concerns with a lot of running backs. If we lost another running back in Kerryon Johnson this week, the David Johnson thing, which was just a total buzzkill last week, but we don't know what's going on there. We may not have Kamara again this week. So, there are teams you have to. I mean, he's going to get touches. I mean, the 19 touches are great. I mean, I preach that all the time. Go with the guy that gets most touches. But they were awful.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hear you. I don't have confidence in him, but, I understand he's going to be in a lot of lineups.
All right, so let's jump to the next one you just brought up. That, of course, being Kerryon Johnson, now done. The former Terp Ty Johnson appeared to be the play. J.D. McKissick is still in the conversation as well.
Trey Carson.
Where are you with the Detroit backfield? I grabbed Ty Johnson in a few leagues just because when there's a starting running back available, I like to try to go get him. Is he a guy that you're playing this week?
Well, he's in my top 24, so I'm going to play him just because of volume. Ty Johnson is not a 3-down back for me. I don't think he's built like that. We'll see. J.D. McKissick seems like he's a waste because one thing that Johnson can do is catch the ball out of the backfield. So I don't like that. The Kaysen kid that they brought off the practice squad. They also, I think, brought up Paul Perkins. I thought
I didn't know Paul Perkins was still alive.
I thought I read that. Somebody started talking to me about that, and I still expect them to bring somebody else in. Although the Cardinals grabbed Zach Zenner, I thought as soon as he was released, I thought he made a lot of sense in Detroit, but the Cardinals picked him up. So Ty Johnson's the only one I'm going to start in the backfield this week. I think the volume, somewhere around 15 to 20 touches, but I also think they're going to use the short passing game a lot, and they're going to use Stafford, who's throwing the ball well this year, especially this week against a Giants defense that's not very good. So, he's an RB2 for me. Everybody else is unstartable. It's a week-by-week thing. I expect... Jay Ajayi is going to sign somewhere within the next week or so. Maybe Detroit's a place that
is he a guy that you should be owning?
I said it last week. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he should be on the roster if you have the room, and this is the week that you should have room with only 2 teams on bye.
Right.
And see if he signs.
Unfortunately, that's the flip side, which is everybody's hurt.
Everybody's hurt, but we remember. I mean, where was C.J. Anderson? C.J. Anderson won people fantasy leagues because people got him in week 10,
right?
And then all of a sudden, he was for 14, 15, and 16. Yep. He was great. So you try to get ahead of these trends and grab guys like that.
I think I could drop Deontay Johnson.
Could probably drop Deontay Johnson at this point, and who knows what that offense is going to look like on Monday night. I mean, it should be a good week, but I can't imagine.
I'm not playing.
If you're not, and that's the thing. What we're doing right now, you're looking at your rosters now, and you're saying, okay, who's on my roster that I can drop that I'm not playing this week? And if it's a fringe guy like Deontay Johnson. You can go ahead and drop them and pick up something that you think could be useful down the road.
That's what I did with N'Keal Harry, obviously. Yeah. That's
Look, there's a kid playing tonight, and I'm going to butcher his name.
Olabisi Johnson.
I love him tonight.
I'm going to have to play him in a couple of leagues.
I'm going to pick him up and play him in a league. I mean, he's with Thielen out, I like a couple of guys that are kind of sleepers that we'll get to tonight, but he's a guy that 5 targets, looked good, scored.
Who else? Who else besides Johnson?
I really like Irv Smith Jr.
Okay.
He got 5 targets. He's more of a move tight end than Rudolph is, and if you look at the game flow, they employed the 2 tight end set a little bit more once Thielen went out, and he's the move guy. So it's like he's the Andrews of the Hurst combo in Baltimore. He's that with Rudolph. So I like him a little bit. I listed him on my DFS that he's a guy that you can easily pivot to and save some money tonight, and I think he gets some targets and could possibly score a touchdown. Who knows what kind of game this is tonight.
The Pressbox Fantasy Football Show is brought to you by Glory Days Grill. Catch all the action at your neighborhood Glory Days Grill, where they have tons of TVs to catch every moment of every game. Glory Days Grill, great food, good sports. We kind of did just move right past it. We were talking about the Patriots, but obviously there were 2 trades this week.
Yes.
Mohamed Sanu to New England, Emmanuel Sanders to San Francisco. What that means for those 2 guys?
So it's weird because you look on paper and like, oh, that's good, that's nice. Sanders is a slot guy. Patriots have one of those, right? Yeah, pretty good.
You mean
slot guy.
Sanu?
I mean Sanu.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Right. Sanu is a pretty good slot guy. Mostly,
right?
And they have Edelman.
Right.
Now
they've also shown before that they are plenty capable of using multiple.
They are. Look, I feel about Sanu the same way I felt about him before the trade. He was the 3rd best wide receiver on his football team that likes to throw the ball some. And I think about him as a spot starter. I mean, I'm not rushing out and adding him, seeing if he's on my waiver wire and saying, oh, I got to have Sanu. He's on the Patriots now. Well, no. I mean, they're running the ball 20 times a game. James White is there out of the backfield. Ben Watson just came in, is now involved a little bit. He's a fringe guy. He'll have a week here and there, but it's not great. Sanders on the other side. Again, I like where he went because it's a good football team and their wide receivers have been disappointing so far, Pettis and Samuel so far, and they've been banged up. So it's a good spot for him. The problem is that they have 17 running backs that they like to use in one game. So it's like, how many times are we throwing the ball? I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is not throwing the ball 35 times a game. You have the tight end that gets 10 targets a game. So, I mean, he's a wide receiver 3-4-ish for me.
Okay.
I'm happier than I was if I owned Sanders, because he was one of the guys he should have been owned everywhere.
Right.
I'm happier today than I was with him in Denver, because that just looks like a complete train wreck, and we're staring Drew Lock in the face at any moment. On the flip side, I also don't love, because Sanders leaves, Deshaun Hamilton, who's been a total disaster this year, doesn't thrill me either with Denver. I just think that they want to run the ball with their two-headed monster and dump the ball off to whoever can.
Well, Cortland Sutton's been pretty good.
He's been.
Right. And then, obviously, Will Fuller out in Houston. How do you feel about Kenny Stills?
I like Kenny Stills. Kenny Stills, every time he gets targets, plays well. So, I mean, of the wide receivers that I've looked at this week, he's the top of the three that we're talking about that I'm adding. They're throwing the ball all over the place. He's got the best quarterback to play with. And he's going to move right into that Fuller position. And when Fuller was missed some time earlier, Stills was really good. He got the deep ball target. So
in one of your leagues, I think I put in a waiver wire thing. So I don't know why somebody would release Kenny Stills this week. I have no idea why that's the case. But he's currently still available today as waivers. The problem is, I need somebody for the week, so I grabbed Johnson, who I'm going to have to play tonight.
Right.
I'm still going to try to see if
I haven't looked. I mean, there's been some in that one league that we're in together. There's been some weird drops all year that have been kind of curious.
Guys were killing me about releasing Will Dissly. That really was awful for me, wasn't it?
Yeah, really, it was. It was a terrible.
You knew.
It was a terrible.
I absolutely knew it was happening.
Top 6 tight end.
Knew it was happening.
Terrible draft.
Knew it was happening.
It wasn't as bad as the guy who dropped Kittle, but
somebody dropped Kittle.
I didn't know that either.
Somebody dropped Kittle.
Would have been all
Somebody
over
dropped Kittle at some point.
I mean, he's been frustrating because you expected him to be a Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce type.
Well, and that's exactly who he's been this year. Zach Ertz, Travis Kelce type.
Yeah, it's been a down year.
They've been both disappointing for those people that took them in the third round.
Down year. Although, when in a league where there's no tight ends, if you didn't get one of those guys, you got nothing. Nothing for your tight end.
It's tough.
All right, we will start getting to your questions when we come back in. We just need a minute here to tell you a little bit more about our great sponsors. But if you've got questions, at Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, and we'll get them in with KZ. We'll do that next here on the Press Box Fantasy Football Show.
Dating was hard, but ring shopping was harder. Settings, cuts, color, we were overwhelmed. Then her friend sent us to Smythe. Total game changer. They took the time to show us the ropes. We left with this perfect ring. She still can't take her eyes off it. I'm actually excited to go back for the wedding bands. But don't tell her I said that.
Why is Smythe Jewelers where Marilyn gets engaged? Our collection is hand-selected and comes with a friendly face to help you find the perfect ring for your perfect partner.
Catch all of the action at your neighborhood Glory Days Grill, where we have tons of TVs to catch every moment of every game. Enjoy $6.99 burgers on Mondays, $5.99 nachos on Thursdays, and drink specials throughout the season to help you cheer on your favorite teams. Come in today and try something new from our seasonal menu. Glory Days Grill, great food, good sports.
Need groceries today but don't have time to shop? Order online with same-day pickup or delivery at Wise Markets. Wise to go online. Now that's convenient.
In here on the Press Box Fantasy Football Show with Ken Zalis. All right, as always, we start with my questions because I'm most important. That's the way that this works. This is really just if Alvin Kamara plays, then I have, my lineup is set in this league. But if for some reason he does not, then I slide Austin Eckler over to my other running back spot, and I need a flex then from this group. Kenny Stills, Golden Tate, Auden Tate.
Golden Tate. He's got the best matchup this week. I like that they're targeting him a ton right now. Auden Tate worries me a little bit against the Rams. I don't know who else Jalen is on for that team right now. Maybe it's Boyd.
Boyd,
but
it's gotta be Boyd, right?
I don't know because he's a slot. I don't know. It's weird to me. I like Tate. I like Golden Tate.
All right. And then I actually need a quarterback in a. Well, it's because I could ride with Daniel Jones. That would be an option. What's out there would be Josh Allen on waivers. I would put a claim in for him. Gardner Minshew, Jimmy Garoppolo, Ryan Tannehill. Can't believe that I'm saying that. Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So like 4 teams in this league.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean it's just nobody really wants these quarterbacks.
Josh Allen and Brissett are
two of those guys are in my top 10 this week.
I hear you.
The top one is Josh Allen, which is a little scary, but he's playing Philadelphia.
I hear you.
No secondary at all. Jacoby Brissett, all he's done this year, and I know the matchup isn't ideal, but he's gone. What 7 games
in the league, I think, doesn't he?
7 games this year, and only 1 game he's thrown less than 2 touchdowns. So, I would tell you to go and get Josh Allen.
Well, so I picked up Brissett because he was available immediately. I didn't have to wait on it.
Okay.
But would you? I don't want to put in a waiver claim for Josh Allen because I can get Brissett.
They're 8-10 for me.
If Josh Allen is still sitting there on Saturday, would you drop Brissett to grab Allen? Or
who's your other quarterback? Who's the quarterback we're not playing?
Well, I'm waiting on Drew Brees. That's
okay.
Yeah.
So
my other option would be to release Devin Singletary.
Yeah, we probably don't want to do
or
that.
Tyrell Williams. But that would leave me with no wide receivers on my bench.
Yeah, we probably don't want to do that. You know what? Because they're so close, I would just tell you to keep Brissett. I mean, we're talking about a difference of about a point that I have them predicted separated by. So I would just tell you that you have Brissett. Don't waste anything else, and you're fine.
All right.
And Brissett's the better guy going forward as well.
Okay. Need to start one of these as a running back, Ty Johnson or Carlos Hyde.
Hyde's annoying.
I agree with that sentiment, by the way.
Ty Johnson.
All right, and then either Hyde or Golden Tate is my flex. I assume based on what we talked about that you're going to say Golden Tate.
I'm going to say Tate. PPR, right?
Yes, it is a PPR.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Kyle, give me a second while I get the listener questions. You can go ahead.
I'm playing currently Cortland Sutton over Tyler Boyd. That's the proper move, I assume.
Yeah, that's the move.
And you wouldn't play any of Gallup, or he's on bye. McLaurin, Boyd over Galladay, correct?
Would I play them over Galladay?
Play either of them over Galladay?
Oh no, Galladay's in number 7 for me this week.
What else we got here on my other team? Would you start any of Tyrell Williams, Emmanuel Sanders over LaShawn McCoy?
No, I'm not convinced Tyrell plays.
Yeah, I hear you.
And he's coming. Even if he plays, I don't know if anybody's ever had plantar fasciitis, but that's just a brutal foot injury.
Is somebody like, if I have Hawkinson as my tight end in both leagues because Andrews is on bye.
Yes.
And Howard is available in free agency. I know the injury muddies the water even further. Is it worth diversifying that or just rolling the dice with Hawkinson?
I would just stick with Hawkinson. I mean, we're splitting hairs. Howard has been hurt.
And then who would you rather stash, A.J. Brown or N'Keal Harry?
N'Keal Harry.
All right.
And how about A.J. Brown or Tyrell Williams?
Assuming Tyrell is going to be healthy at some point, I'd rather have Tyrell.
Right.
So, I mean, look, A.J. Brown, I actually like him a little bit this week. I'm going to start him in a DFS league, but because Tannehill actually gives them a downfield threat. It's really weird to say that.
Oh, Colts defense or Jaguars defense this week?
Colts. Love the Colts defense going up against those Denver Broncos who all of a sudden can't block it all.
I mean, it is
horrible.
staggering. It is staggering. All right, John from Little Rock needs a PPR flex. Chase Edmonds, James White, or Austin Eckler.
Those are 3 really good guys. So this is easy. If David Johnson is out, it's Chase Edmonds.
Yeah.
If David Johnson is in, and I know he was in last week, I get it.
So, I mean, you say you get it, but that is a really difficult...
Well, but if he practices and he's active, I can't risk the 0. I can't risk the half, I mean, Edmonds is still going to have a role, but then I go Eckler because I think that they have to target Eckler like 15 times in this game to move the ball against the Bears on the road. So I like Eckler, especially in a PPR.
2 wide receivers, Keenan Allen, Robert Woods, Calvin Ridley, Golden Tate.
The first 2, Woods and Allen.
All right. Need groceries today but don't have time to shop? Order online with same-day pickup or delivery at Wise Markets. Wise to go online. Now that's convenient. Paul wants to know PPR flex, David Montgomery or Devin Singletary?
And here we are.
Yep.
I mean, here we are.
Yep. Indeed.
I want to start Singletary so badly because he's dynamic, and I want to stay as far away from David Montgomery as humanly possible. But the reality is that neither one of these guys, we know how many touches they're going to get. I'm going to say David Montgomery one more time.
Yeah, you're going down with the ship, man.
I'm going down with the ship. I mean, they're playing the Chargers. The Chargers are not great defensively right now. Singletary, the one thing Philadelphia can do is stop the run. So if Singletary's going to be effective in this game, one would think that it's got to be through the passing game. I don't know how many targets we can guarantee that Singletary's going to get when you want to go downfield against Philadelphia. So I'm going to hedge my bet and go with Montgomery.
This is just a Dave says needs a wide receiver. Would you drop Frank Gore to get Johnson? I guess that's Alobsi Johnson.
I mean, not knowing who else you have to drop.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming that means he thinks.
If you need a wide receiver, anybody's droppable. I mean, I'm not taking a 0, but I like Johnson tonight. Now, Johnson's not a long-term. I mean, as soon as Thielen's back, which you'll think is going to be in a week or 2 at worst, I mean, Johnson has no value, whereas Gore does. So you have to.
How much value does Frank Gore have?
Well, he won't go away.
I mean, I hear you, but like, how many weeks are you going to play? How many weeks are you going to play Frank Gore?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, if he's your 4th or 5th running back, then yeah, you can do that. I mean, in a vacuum, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather have Gore because Johnson's not going to. As soon as Thielen's back, Johnson's not going to play. I know Gore's going to get touches each and every week.
Right. But, I mean, if he's at the point where he's saying he needs a wide receiver, I don't know. David, you had to tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, sure, go ahead.
There you go.
Johnson's going to score a touchdown tonight, and maybe you can get Frank Gore back.
Matt Breida or Kenny Stills is a flex. This is a PPR from Chris.
I'm gonna still go Breida here. I know it's a 7-headed monster or something like that, but I like Stills. I still have him outside my wide receiver 3, so he's a wide receiver 4 for me. Where Breida more of a running back 3, so I'll go Breida here.
A very similar quarterback question to what we were just talking about: Gardner Minshew or Jacoby Brissett?
Brissett.
You love Brissett. That's your guy.
I mean, he's been consistent. Minshew has shown that, look, the Jets. Everybody looks at the Jets right now and thinks they're the worst team in football and this and that. But the Patriots are really good. Let's just call what it is. Sure. The defense is really good. So I'm not throwing too much. The fact that Gardner Minshew is playing the Jets doesn't mean he's going to be terrific. D.D. Westbrook is a little banged up. That kind of puts a sour taste in everybody's mouth. And Fournette's going to get 20-plus touches. So I'm going to go with Brissett, who's going to throw the ball, 30-plus times, and hope that the numbers are better.
Ty Johnson or Tyrell Williams?
I'll go with Ty Johnson because I think he's healthy. I'm not. Again, I'm really hesitant with guys that are coming back the first week off of a foot injury and hasn't practiced.
I literally had somebody else who asked Larry Fitzgerald or Tyrell Williams.
Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald. God, has he been disappointing? How do you get one ball against the Falcons? One catch against the Falcons? What?
I hear you, man, but
he's only targeted twice.
But are you playing Tyrell Williams?
I'm not playing Tyrell Williams, so I got to go Fitzgerald.
That's where we're at. That's what we're dealing with.
I don't even think I have him ranked right now until he practices.
This is a generic question. Paul wants to know, who are your biggest disappointments at each position this season?
Quarterback's easy because it's Baker Mayfield. He was everybody's darling, and it just hasn't happened. And wide receiver, I mean, outside of one game, you could probably throw Odell Beckham Jr., who was a top 4 guy picked in most wide receivers. He's had one good game. Running back position, I mean, can you choose anybody but Joe Mixon? I mean, he was a top 10 guy, 12 at worst, and that has just been...
Connor's been pretty...
But Connor's at least scored touchdowns. He hasn't been... I mean, Mixon has done nothing. I mean, nothing.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know,
he touchdown last week, right?
Tight end so far, believe it or not, it's Kelsey.
I mean, just because of the...
Well, because of the draft capital you had to spend and what you were expecting from him. I mean, he's not getting in the end zone.
I hear you. I mean, you're still playing him.
I mean, but he didn't say it that. He said, "Who's my biggest disappointment?" I mean, based on where I had
Howard
people ranked,
pretty up. I mean,
he's up there, but
I think I would be more okay with having spent a second or third on Kelsey than a fourth or fifth on Howard.
See, I had, I could get Howard in the 6th, 7th in most drafts. I don't.
Is there any chance, by the way,
I think get Kelsey in the 2nd round. He has not performed for the
Is there any
round.
chance that he's more valuable with Matt Moore? Like, is there any chance that they have to throw to Travis Kelsey?
No. He's not more valuable with Matt Moore.
Maybe more valuable is the wrong way of putting it.
No.
Higher floor.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
No, he's not more valuable with Matt Moore or a higher floor with Matt Moore than he is with Mahomes. No. And all this, Mahomes isn't playing this week. Neither is probably Matt Ryan.
Right.
So let's just everybody stop.
Okay.
I don't want any more questions about.
You're probably the wrong person to ask because I've seen some trades that you've offered. Someone is trying to avoid being that guy in their league, but notices that there's an 0-7 team that has Ezekiel Elliott and is trying to pry him away.
Go for it.
But he doesn't want to be that guy.
Why?
Because if you're that guy, we all want you out of the league. You're trying to just do that bit. So he asks, is Melvin Gordon, Carlos Hyde, Robert Woods, and another mediocre player a reasonable package to send?
Yes. And I'll tell you why it's reasonable. And you're going to say no, but you're getting a wide receiver 2, you're getting a running back 2, and you're getting a guy in Gordon that you're hoping is another running back 2. If this guy is 0-7 and he's still playing, like is he making moves? If he's not playing, like he's stopped making roster changes, he's stopped making free agent, then don't be that guy. But if this guy's still trying and saying, hey, if I win my next 5-7 can get me in the playoffs,
or for example, just doesn't want to be last because of whatever.
Whatever. If there's some kind of thing in that, if he has no run, if all he has is Ezekiel Elliott and everybody else is hurt and stuff like that, that's not a terrible. If he can fill 3 spots on his roster every week, then right now he has 2 holes. I don't see how that's a terrible offer.
Okay. This is why I would get rid of trading altogether. I hate it so much. I hate the idea of
if you and I agree to a trade, it takes 2. I can offer anything. I can offer the most ridiculous things in the world to Kyle. And Kyle can say, that helps me.
I'm very aware. I'm very aware. It's why I hate it. It's just why I hate it so damn much. But it's what it is. She's a perfect fit, your fantasy draft pick of all time. But can you close the deal? The answer is yes when you propose with an engagement ring hand-selected by the coaches at Smythe. Smythe Jewelers, let the end zone dance commence. I had a similar question. Somebody wanted to know, I'm hoping that... Oh, I get it. This is from Jeff. Jeff says he's just, because he's a nerdy Ravens fan, He's hoping that the Marquise Brown owner in his league is frustrated and he wants to figure out a way if he can pry him away. What should he be offering? I mean, I don't know who's on your roster, Jeff, is part of the problem.
I mean, what are you going to pay for a wide receiver 4 on your fantasy team? I mean, is the question, because that's all Brown is.
Even when healthy, you're not really playing.
I mean, how? I mean, it's a right now we've seen a very run heavy Ravens offense once again, and he's a touchdown dependent wide receiver 3 at best. So, I mean, are you offering Frank Gore? Are you offering are you offering David Montgomery?
Are you?
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, there you go. That's your answer. I
mean,
think you got what you got.
Jamal Williams.
Okay. There you
Royce
go.
Freeman.
All right. Then you answered the question. That's what you got. Very good. What else is on your radar for this week?
Not much. Just we're waiting. There's a lot of guys, and it's ESPN. And I'm going to pick on ESPN and Yahoo because they have this little bit right now where they send you these updates when people don't practice on Wednesday, and they change them from healthy to questionable.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to start turning off those.
Yeah, I am too. Relax. No, practices don't matter till Friday unless you play in a Thursday game. So it's really been annoying.
By the way, it's
I know,
so ironic.
Just got one. Who's questionable now?
No, it's not even that. It just says it's like they sent me a effing push notification for some content they did.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'm sorry, ESPN. It's going to be the end of it. It's just going to be the end of it.
Yeah,
you guys, I like this push notification thing. You got to do better. You guys got to do better. Nobody wants a push notification about a list that you put together.
Right.
No one on the planet wants that.
I'm with you. I'm the ones I got today were just idiotic. It's like someone in your lineup is scheduled to score less points than someone on your bench. Thank you.
Yeah, right. That's because I made a decision on which guy I was going to play.
I trust me more than I trust your rankings that are 4 weeks old. Thank you. just ridiculous.
No doubt.
So, look, lots of guys hurt. James Conner, make sure he practices Friday. The Arizona backfield situation, the New Orleans backfield situation. If Kamara's out, by the way, Latavius Murray's a top 5 guy this week. Christian McCaffrey, you have to start. He's not number 1 on the board this week for the first time all year long for me because that San Francisco defense is for real.
Yeah, but you're playing him.
I'm just saying. Right. And people are going to sour on the Jets, and I'm telling everybody, and I keep on saying it, their schedule gets real easy, real fast, including this week where Le'Veon Bell should have a field day against the Jacksonville defense who just lost their best run stuffer for 4 to 6 weeks in Darius, I believe.
Okay. All right.
So don't sour on guys just because they go up against good defenses 1 week. It's okay.
All right, very good. At Fans Fantasy on Twitter. If you didn't get your question in, he will take care of you at some point during the course of the weekend. PressBoxOnline.com is where you see his stuff. What's up? What's coming? Remind me. The
DFS should be up shortly if it's not up already. 5 sleepers to look for this Sunday or Monday will be up on Friday, and then the last update on rankings will be out on 12:30 on Sunday.
All right, very good. KZ, appreciate it, pal. We will see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for Glenn Clark Radio. This has been the Press Box Fantasy Football Show.